Welcome to this next part of the tutorial on how to make a Lego brick. In this case, we're gonna work on making the studs that go on top of the Lego brick. We already covered how to do the base box, and so we're gonna be working in this area. But before we go into that, a quick explanation. In order to know the separation and the location of the first of the studs that we're gonna make, we have to just really quickly realize that if we see at the top of the Lego brick, we'll be working on this area, right? We haven't done the studs yet. So you could tell that if we find the origin kind of like being here in the center, the distance between the center and the center of this Lego of these studs kind of falls at the half of the distance between the center of these studs and this one, you know? So I'm gonna be referencing the distance between the center of these two cylinders, or which are studs, and how that will allow us to find the right distance. We're gonna start making one of the studs in the corner by multiplying this known distance, the stud pitch, by 1.5 in the case of X in this axis, and by 0.5 in the case of this axis, in the Y axis. Going back into the brick, I'm gonna start making a sketch using the top face of the brick, and we're gonna look at it directly by clicking here on the top side of the navigation cube. Now I'm gonna make a center point circle somewhere on the corner. I'm gonna add the dimension for the stud, which it's gonna be 27.2 millimeters. And now let's set the distance for the origin and the center of this stud. Now the stud pitch is actually 45.3 millimeters. This is the distance between the center of two studs, whether it's on X or Y. So to know the distance between this top left corner stud and the center of this face, or in this case the origin, we're gonna multiply by 1.5, as we said previously. And we're gonna do the same thing in the Y axis, multiplying 45.3, but this time by 0.5. And you know, this is also another way that we can introduce distances on Onshape. Now the main reason why I did this is because, now I'm gonna click OK. I'm gonna use the extrude tool to get the first stud ready. The depth of or height of this stud and the other ones is gonna be 10.2 millimeters. And this solid, we're gonna leave it as it being its own thing. We don't want to add it to the previous Lego brick base. This is gonna come handy for the next tool that we're gonna use. So for now, we're just gonna make a solid that is gonna be a new and a separate thing from the other one, and we're gonna click OK. And this time it's not gonna be symmetric. We just want it to be extruded from the surface going upwards. You can always change this, although it's not very functional to do it the other way, but you can always change the direction using that setting. Okay. And now finally, to create the other studs, this being a 2x4 Lego brick, we're gonna find this other tool called linear pattern. In linear pattern, it's gonna select the entities to pattern, which is gonna be the single stud. This is where it became important not to add this part number 2 as it is found here in the parts menu, because otherwise we would have selected the whole Lego brick, as this would have been added immediately to the base. And the direction that we're gonna use for this, we just gonna select this line for now, because you just need a line to follow. Now it's done 2 instances, but I'm gonna reverse that distance, or reverse that direction, so it makes pieces going to the right. And the distance between those circles, we already know, is the same as the stud pitch that we mentioned before, 45.3. But we don't want 2 pieces going to the right. We actually want 4. And last but not least, we're gonna add a second direction using this line. We'll want to have 2 rows, and the distance we're gonna use for that is also gonna be 45.3. And we're gonna hit OK. So there we have it, our 8 studs. Last but not least, now we're actually gonna join these pieces to the Lego brick. We can do that by selecting all the pieces. I'm hitting Shift here. I have selected everything, all the pieces, and using the tool Boolean, we're gonna select the union tool. We've selected all the pieces, and we're gonna click OK. Now all of them are a single piece. Last but not least, we haven't performed any fillet on any of the edges. The fillet tool is for us to smooth some of these edges. So let's do that for now. We're gonna use the same kind of fillet for all the top of the studs. And we're gonna make it, I guess 1 millimeter should be alright. And I guess we could have done also that for the edges of the Lego brick. So let's repeat the same option, but in this case, the radius we're gonna use is gonna be a little bigger. Using the right click on my mouse helps me to find all these edges, and we're gonna start by these ones. Let's change this to a bigger number, kind of like 2.5 millimeters. Maybe for this edges too. Yes. And maybe let's leave it at that for now. Last but not least, I guess we can also introduce a little filleting here to kind of like smooth the transition between stud and base. We can take a look again at the fillet number 1 and just add some on the entities to fillet. We're just gonna add some extra entities by selecting very carefully these edges as well. Just be careful, because if you select an edge that you're not really sure that it's the right one, I mean, you see that all the edges are kind of like named the same, so it would be kind of hard to find the exact one that you didn't want to fill it. Let's hit OK. All right, and as you could tell, now also these edges are kind of like smoother. Perfect. Let's leave it at that for now, and we're gonna go and do some of the other parts of this Lego break soon.